Hello everybody, welcome back. Here are a few Build-A-Boat facts I think everyone should know. First of all, an infinite delay, so you're going to need at least 2 delay blocks, although you can have more. So it's really simple, all you have to do is connect this to here and this to here, you're done. That's an infinite delay. Of course you want to connect it to a lever, and now it's just going to repeat back and forth forever. You can extend or delay this, so I can make it like 0.1 second, and now it goes past that really quickly. You can do this with more than 2 as well, you just have to connect them all together, and then connect the end one with the starting one right here, and then that will repeat in a little triangle. And of course you can connect this with other things, so let's say you wanted a flashing light. There you go, now you have a flashing light. I've never actually understood this, but if you have an infinite delay of any kind, if you die for any reason, the delay will actually stop working. As you can see, it's not repeating anymore. This is probably one of the most important Build-A-Boat for treasure glitches. So there's 2 ways to do it. You can do it with a chair like this. Place a cake on that chair. You get cakes for free if you join Build-A-Boat for treasure on your account's birthday. So you want to jump like that. And then you can place anything you want on the chair. So just make sure it's either touching the chair or the cake. And you can place anything you want on here. So let's say I want to place a big box. Then you can unanchor it and you can walk around with it. So if you ever wanted to make a custom weapon, this is how you do it. Yeah, perfect weapon. So if you've ever wondered how people control mechs and stuff, it's using this glitch. So just pretend that block right there is a mech, and this is how you move it around and stuff. My preferred way to connect to blocks is using glue. So using glue, you can go like this, maybe go out a little bit like this, and then you want to get rid of this bottom block here. And just like with the cake, you can place anything you want on here. So I can make like a giant hat, and then just unanchor it, and you can walk around wherever you want with this. And if you want it to be better, you can turn the glue invisible like this. There you go. Now I look like a bush. Next up is a flying glitch. What you need to do is place ice blocks, so that's these blue ones in here. You want to make a little bit of a plus symbol like this. You then want to place a hinge. So you want it to be facing upwards like that. And you then want to place 2 glue blocks on here. And when you launch, you can go super fast. So holding W makes you go forward, it's the normal controls. And to go up, you just have to press space. There's not really a good way of going down though, you just kind of have to wait. This is really good for like winning PvP matches or races with your friends or something. It takes a little bit of practice to control, but it's not too hard. It's a really quick way to just get to the end. And to get off of it, you just have to click these glue blocks. And then you can just jump off. Using that is a good way to get a bunch of gold blocks really quickly. Next up is getting a free purple jet. As I'm sure a lot of you know, purple jets are expensive. In order to get the same speed as a purple jet, you want 2 red jets, one like that, and then you want one rotated the other way, like that. Then place a pilot seat on top, launch everything, and then once you press the activate button, you go the same speed as a purple jet. This is really helpful to get to the end quickly, or if you just don't have enough Robux to get a purple jet. It doesn't look as pretty, but it still works. A lot of people say they fixed this glitch. They did not. This glitch still works. The only difference between this and a purple jet is that the red jets have less fuel. Next up is a speed glitch. So what you want to do is put a chair in the air like this. Then you want to put a cake on that chair. You can get a cake if you join Build-A-Boat for treasure on your account's birthday. You then want to jump like that. You then want to put a motor on the back like this. The motor can really be anywhere just as long as it's behind you and connected to the chair. What I like to do, this isn't necessary, but I like putting a few blocks in front of me like that and then putting a lever on there. You can put the lever on the motor, except sometimes it falls off. So I like to put it on blocks in front of me like that. Then if you unanchor, make sure the lever's connected to the motor, and then you can jump around and go really fast. This works with any of the motors. This one's just the fastest motor. And to stop going quickly, you just flip the lever again. You can also fly with this. You just have to equip a jetpack and then flip the lever again, and now you can fly. So this is a good thing if you're like running away from someone. This next one honestly doesn't really have a purpose, but it's really funny to do. So you need a blue candy and a wing pack. The wing pack does cost Robux, and the blue candy you can only get at Halloween. So you want to equip the jetpack, and then eat the blue candy. You'll become really small, and by holding space, you'll go very high up. So as you can see, I am going extremely fast. If you stop pressing space, if you hold space for too long, you don't exactly go back down. You just kind of keep going up forever. Eventually, you'll start doing this with your Roblox avatar, and your Roblox avatar is just going to continue to get more and more glitchy and stuff. This is actually a thing with any Roblox game. It's because you go so far away from where you're supposed to be. Anyways, the only real way to get down from that is to reset your character. So for this glitch, you want to use any harpoon that's not the blue harpoon, so not this one. You want to get an item you don't use. So you want to click the harpoon, hold out the weapon, and then click the weapon with the harpoon. This is sometimes kind of hard to do. Oh, no, I hit myself. Oh, there we go, I got it. So if I let go, it doesn't look like the harpoon's connected to anything. But if I hold out that weapon again, I teleport back here. So it doesn't matter how far away you are or anything, as long as that harpoon stays like that, and you still have this weapon, you'll be able to teleport back. And you can hold different weapons and not teleport. And to make it a little bit more sneaky, you can make the harpoon invisible. Up next is the thing with the balloon. Normally balloons are only this size. It doesn't matter if you put them next to each other like this. It doesn't matter if you have multiple balloons right next to each other. They're all going to be the same size, as you can see. In order to make a bigger balloon, you need the measuring tool and just use it on the balloon block like this. And you can get a much bigger balloon, as you can see. So let's say I wanted to make like a blimp or something, this is how I do it. And like all balloons, you can paint it to change the color. So I'm assuming you all know that like you go through balloons like this. You can actually change that. So you want the balloon to be out like this. The balloon does have to be out for this to work, so if you like save it like this, it won't save. Then you just simply want to turn off collision and turn it back on. And now this balloon has collision. So as you can see, you can move it a little bit. So if you want like a disappearing platform or something, you could have someone like walking on this and then you could pop the balloon and they'd fall. You can do this with any size of balloon as well. So you just have to turn off collision and turn it back on. And as you can see, this has collision. Next up is getting through isolation mode. So if you don't know, isolation mode puts an orange border around everything, so no one can get through it. To make it a little bit quicker to build, you want to be on the plot parallel to the plot you're trying to get into. So if someone's on red, you want to be on black. If someone's on blue, you want to be on green. And if someone's on pink, you want to be on yellow. So let's say that guy on red over there is being really mean. All you have to do in order to get over there is place a chair like this. And you need quite a few pistons for this. You just need enough pistons to move yourself to the other plot, so it's a lot of just trial and error. You just kind of have to guess whatever you think is going to be enough. To make it a little quicker, copy the pistons and move them by 0.5. And you can just duplicate them like this. So once you have the amount of pistons you want, make sure this lever's connected to all of them. Then just flick the lever. And you'll be launched right into this plot. So even though this plot has isolation mode on, I'm still in the plot. And you can stay in here for as long as you want, but the second you jump, you'll be knocked right out. Next up is a machine I actually made all on my own. I'm so cool. So you want to place a chair. It can be any chair. You want to move the chair in the air with the trowel tool. It can be any distance in the air. You then want to place a spring underneath it like this. And put it on the ground like that. So you want to put the damping to like a really high number, so like 10,000 even, and then just on anchor, and you're instantly killed. If you get your friend to like sit in a seat, you can instantly kill them with that, and there's no way they can escape as long as you unanchor it quick enough. This is a good way to trap one of your friends or something. You can use any harpoon with this. I would not recommend the blue harpoon though, because it has a timer right there. You just need 2 golden harpoons. Connect them to the person you're trying to trap. Click both of the harpoons once. And now your friend's going crazy. If you want your friend to go more crazy, put the harpoons further away and hit it more than once. So I'll hit it 3 times. And he's going a bit faster now. But they have no way to get out of this unless they reset their character. because they can't click the harpoons because they're moving too much. Next up is what I like to call a portal trap. So you can use any amount of portals you want. The more portals you have, the more effective this is. So you want to place a bunch of portals side by side. I'd say about 4 portals. So you just place them side by side like that. You then want to select all of these with the trowel tool. Copy them, rotate, and make sure it's lined up with the center right there. You then want to get 2 portals to cover up these corners. So just put them on an angle like this. The angle doesn't really matter just as long as you can't fit through the gap. Put it right in the center like that, and do the same with the other corner. Make sure all of the portals are the same color as well. You then want to place another portal outside like this. Make sure it's the same color. To make it a little bit more sneaky, make these portals over here invisible. Then convince your friend to go into this portal right here. And now no matter what they do, they cannot get out. And they can't really do a whole lot because they are constantly getting teleported into the center. For this next one, you need a lot of blocks of a certain type. It doesn't matter what kind of block it is. You want to make a big box like this. Preferably make it invisible. You don't have to though. Then let's say your worst enemy is standing right there. Using the measuring tool, you can just select the block and put it over them, and now they're kind of like stuck in the ground. They can't really do a whole lot. They will eventually start like moving to one side, and to fix that you just have to move the block in whatever direction they're going. So he's starting to move this way a little bit, so I'll want to extend the block this way. Next up is making a flamethrower. So just use the cake or glue glitch I described before, and you're going to want to put a torch on your side. So just put it on your side like this. If it's not facing the way you want, use the trowel tool. Just make sure it's either connected to the glue or the cake block. Then using spike blocks, you want to put them at the end of the flamethrower like this. Make the glue and the spikes invisible. Unanchor everything. And now you have a flamethrower. You do need PvP mode on to make this work, so just turn that on. So let's say this person is saying some really mean words and stuff. You can just walk up to them and they're dead. This is also a really good thing for destroying other people's blocks and stuff. As you can see, that wood block never stood a chance. Next up's a pretty helpful thing. So you can do this with either cannons or miniguns. I'll explain cannons first. I would recommend probably 10 cannons. So just set up 10 cannons right beside each other. You can have more or less cannons than this, but then you have to do some pretty tricky math. So you also need a timer for every cannon. So I'll set up 10 timers like this. Connect the timers to the cannons. Then connect all the timers together. Make sure the last timer is connected to the first timer. Then place a lever and connect it to the first timer. This is an optional thing, but to make it look better, you want to place all the cannons into one block by using the trowel tool. Use the screwdriver, select all the cannons, and make sure aim is off. So I want all of these delays to be at 1 second. Okay, I'm going to try and explain this as simply as I can if you have more or less than 10 cannons. So you want to take the reload speed of the cannon, which is 10 seconds, divide that by the number of cannons, and put whatever number that is as the delay time. The reload time is 10 seconds. Divide the 10 by the 10 cannons. 10 divided by 10 is 1. So that means I want all of these timers to have a delay time of 1. So let's say I wanted 20 cannons. You would have to do 10 divided by 20, which is 0.5. And so what that would mean is you want to set this delay time to 0.5. Anyways, this is the result. So as you can see, it's shooting a cannon every 1 second. So if you want the cannons to shoot faster, I'd recommend 20 cannons. Then you need 20 delays, and then you need to set all of the delays to 0.5. So with the infinite miniguns, I would just recommend 10 miniguns. If you have 10 miniguns, it'll shoot constantly. So like with the cannons, you want to connect all of these delays together. Make sure the last delay is connected to the first delay. And then you want to connect the delays with the miniguns. This is optional, but to make it look better, put all the cannons on the same block. So just use the trowel tool to put them all together. Make sure aim is turned off. So just like with the cannons, you want the lever connected to the first delay. Make sure all the delays are connected. And you want the same amount of delays as miniguns. So the math for this is quite a bit more complicated. So cannon doesn't really take any time to fire, which is why this is different. So a minigun shoots for 3.75 seconds, and it reloads for 15 seconds. So the total time from firing a minigun once to firing it a second time is 18.75 seconds. So you want to take that 18.75 and divide it by the amount of miniguns. So I have 10 miniguns. So whatever your answer is to the equation, you want to put in here. So if I have 10 miniguns, that's 1.875. If you have too many decimal places, it will round up. So this technically isn't the most efficient it could be, but it's close enough. So if you have 10 miniguns, it's gonna go to 1.88. So just put in your answer and it'll round it up for you. And then just flip the lever. Make sure the lever is connected to the first delay. And now you have an infinite minigun. So it'll just shoot forever. This next one's one of my favorite things to do. So you can use cake. I prefer to use glue. So just put 2 glue blocks like this. Then put 2 harpoons of your choice. Unanchor this. Make everything invisible. I prefer to not have the harpoons invisible, but whatever you want. And now, using these harpoons, you can swing around and stuff. You can use multiple harpoons. You can always put more than 2 harpoons on, but I prefer 2 because it makes me seem like Spider-Man. You can also just use 1 harpoon, and you can like climb stuff with it. If you want someone to go somewhere, you can always just use this harpoon right here, connected to them, and then you can sort of make them move around. It doesn't work the greatest on players. As you can see, it kind of glitches a lot. But it's still moving the other player around, just not very well. I find just messing around with harpoons really fun. Anyways, that's all of them. If you're having any trouble figuring any of these out, just ask me in the comments and I'll respond. Anyways, yeah. Bye.